Wild Thing just came up with these 3 chords, and Chris, who'd studied classical guitar, went 3 chords, 3. But it was probably the biggest record that we ever did.
I feel it in my fingers, I feel it in my toes. Well, love is all around me, and so the feeling grows. It's written on the wind, it's everywhere I go. So if you really love me, come on and let it show. You know I love you, I always will. My mind's made up by the way that I feel. There's no beginning, there'll be no end. 'Cause on my love, you can depend.
Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello, good evening, and welcome.
The man who hands you this card is an air raid warden. Do not be alarmed, lie down, and do exactly as he tells you.
I let down my friends. I let down the country. I let down our system of government.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to TVAM. The fact that it was going in a completely different direction, it wasn't, as he said, closing in.
Do you know ships do zigzag?
Yeah, but it didn't zigzag.
But ships do change direction.
Yeah, but it
that
didn't.
Ship
It didn't, though, did it?
change direction.
On that day, when the government said it changed direction many times, it only changed direction once to go back home.
Do you pray together?
Pray together? How do you mean?
Do you say prayers together for peace? You and the President?
Well, we don't say prayers together, no, but I'm sure he, in his way, hopes for peace, and I hope for peace too.
The reason sacred music continues is because people have a thirst for tradition. I learned a bit about Indian music, I learned a bit about Arabic music, and then tried to create a style out of these various traditions. When the end of our life comes, and all the other longings we have in this life have disappeared, then we're only left with that longing for God.
What happened?
I swear I don't know. 1 minute the glass was there and then it was gone. It was like magic.
There's no such thing as magic.
Do not use that word.
But you use it, sir.
I do, sir, I know, but I am far gone in age and decrepitude.
You're not supposed to hit us, sir. Oh.
Tim, what is this?
Sir, I don't always understand poetry.
You don't always understand it? Tims, I never understand it. But learn it now, know it now, and you will understand it whenever.
We're taking late luncheon at 3.
I'm afraid we have to leave by 3, Monty.
Leave?
Oh, didn't he tell you? We have to get back to sign on.
Sign on? At a labour exchange?
It's sort of fashionable, actually.
But surely you could forego for just this one occasion. I've come a very long way to see you both.
Billy
Rose actually invented me because he invented swimming to music with what he called his aquacades. The big number that I did in Bathing Beauty, nobody knew how to do a swimming number in the movies. So they got John Murray Anderson, who was the choreographer from the aquacade. And they said, how do you do what you do? And he said, first of all, you're going to need a lot of water. And they called me and they said, come out and we want to talk to you about being in the movies. I said, you people, I don't know. They called me for 1 solid year, and I found out something really valuable for show business. When you say no, they really have to have you.
Here goes Cliff Morgan. A superb drive that makes it 14-3.
Doesn't matter whether you're the son of a distinguished man, wealthy man, titled man, whether you're Welsh or black or whether you're Scottish. It doesn't matter tuppence in sport. It shouldn't. Because sport should be that unifying force.
Kirkpatrick to Williams. This is great stuff. Phil Bennett covering. Chased by Alistair Scone. Brilliant. Oh, that's brilliant. John Williams, Brian Williams, pulling. John Dawes. Great dummy. David, Tom David, the halfway line. Brilliant by Quinnell. This is Gareth Edwards. A dramatic start. What a score! If the greatest writer of the written word would have written that story, no one would have believed it. That really was something.
When the siren went, didn't he? And when he went down to pick 'em up, he tripped over the twins' pram, shot forward and put his tin helmet straight through the front door. Don't listen to what no mamby-pamby travel agent says. No one I know's ever been there, have they? Next thing I know, you'll be shipping me off to some bleeding old folks' home.
I believe some folk can hear what Bugs Bunny is saying. And that Salt Lake City's a real nice place to stay in.
When I caught Gerald in '68, he was completely wild.
Wild? I was absolutely livid.
I know that looking back now, if I watch an old sketch or a bunch of old sketches, I know that I think it's a very, very good programme, which is something one should be very careful about thinking. But I think it was brilliant.
Another double vodka.
Yeah, we all have our moment in the sun, I think.
100 milligrams.
100 milligrams.
I love foreign films, French films particularly.
I don't like them. Because all the writing underneath, like... I don't like...
The subtitles?
Yeah, no, I don't like all that stuff. No, it must be odd for them in France and all, you know, when they're seeing a film, they've got all the English writing going on.
Don't be daft. They don't have them over there.
Oh, I see. No.
They have them in French over there.
Oh, I see, right. What? And all the actors speak in English then?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be a foreign film otherwise.
No.
You've got a very sexy neck.
You've never seen my neck.
I'm looking at it now, Margaret.
can't eat that.
Yes, of course we can. I'll cut off the burnt bit. It's all right underneath. You know you like my pies.
But it isn't a pie if it hasn't got a top, it's a stew.
Well, George Starling in Mary's Lines was quite like Tom Good in The Good Life. I pretty well played myself. Highly strung, nervous, rather stupid person, desperate. You get things right and getting them wrong, you know, the usual thing.
Tush, tush, man, never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare.
Wait!
One day I was asked to write my autobiography, and I put a letter in the Spectator asking if anyone could tell me what I was doing between 1960 and 1974.
I can't understand men like you. You always give me the feeling that you're laughing at me.
I knew where Rebecca's body was. Lying on that cabin floor on the bottom of the sea.
How did you know, Max?
Because I put it there.
I'm playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order.
The very first joke I sold it to Charlie Chester, and the joke was, Hopalong Cassidy's mother, when he was a little baby, Hopalong Cassidy's mother knew he was going to be a cowboy because he always wore a 10-gallon nappy. That was the first joke I ever sold, and I got half a crown for that.
I know something I haven't done for a long time.
Oh, we all know that.
I was sat in front of that typewriter with all those blank pages. That's when you realise there were 20 million, 24 million, 25 million people looking over your shoulder or saying, make me laugh.
We gotta put some jazz to it, make it dark. And sure enough, this is what happened.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown.
Hello. They're charming, aren't they? Or if they're not, they jolly soon ought to be, because they're students at a London charm school, and they're paying 25 guineas for a course which should buy them a little extra charm. We're in tropical Australia, halfway up the peninsula of Cape York. You know, the pointed bit at the top on the right-hand side. A brash, air-conditioned nightmare where we wait forever under neon for a jackpot that never turns up. Most of Texas is now urban or suburban. Yet it's still the mirror in which fascinated Americans see themselves reflected much larger than life. Texas is super American.
And welcome to another session of Jukebox Jury.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from the Tower Ballroom, Blackpool, to the 1984 season of Come Dancing.
Good evening, this is David Jacobs.
And he got hold of this sort of thing, this water jug, and poured it all over this fireguard's helmet. Trickle, trickle, you know, and I just shrieked with laughter. I couldn't stop. So I was eventually asked to leave.
Now, there they are. They've said undoubtedly that it's a... All right. On to the next.
And that, I'm afraid, brings to an end the David Jacobs collection. So, until then or whenever, it's good night from me, David Jacobs.
Badge for doing this?
No, I don't think so.
Pity. We should have something for people to pick us out by.
Surely that's not the important thing. I mean, just as long as we give the blood and help somebody, that's the main thing.
I just think we want to get a badge as well.
The management has seen fit to extend to you the privilege of using the executive dining room.
The executive dining room?
See you at lunch, Stephen.
Thank you, Cuthbert.
It's still Mr. Rumbold.
I'm sorry, sir. Please forgive me. The key to the executive washroom went to my head.
I quite understand.
Who's in charge here?
I am. Why?
Right, well, get this all cleared out at once.
What?
Come on, get these blokes out of here so I can carry on with my lecture.
Are you asking the army to retreat?
Why not? You've had plenty of practice lately. Right, Mandarin, get your jacket off and come outside.
Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests, snug as a gun. The long bedtime anthems of Ulster, unwilling, unbeaten, Protestant, Catholic, the Bible, the beads, long talks at gables by moonlight, boots on the hearth, the small hours chimed sweetly away, so next thing it was the cock on the ridge tiles.
We're a society, if you like, that has fallen from grace. This is limbo land at best, and at worst, the country of the damned.
A prowler through the dark nursed a hard grievance. It harrowed him to hear the din of the loud banquet every day in hall, the harp being struck, and the clear song of a skilled poet telling with mastery of man's beginnings.
Now, the possible future President of the United States only 4 years ago was talking about using an atom bomb, just quite casually, a conventional weapon. What guarantee is there that another slightly off-balance general might precipitate the whole world into war?
The two women were alone in the London flat. The point is, said Anna, as her friend came back from the telephone on the landing, the point is that as far as I can see, everything is cracking up.
Have you heard the news?
No.
You've won the Nobel Prize for Literature.
Oh, Christ.
I don't think that there will be a woman Prime Minister in my lifetime.
Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is error, may we bring truth. Where there is doubt, may we bring faith.
The white ensign flies alongside the Union Jack in South Georgia. God save the Queen.
What happens next, Mr. Nunn?
Thank you very much.
Just rejoice at that news and congratulate our forces and the Marines.
Are we going to declare war on...
To those waiting with bated breath for that favourite media catchphrase, the U-turn, I have only one thing to say. U-turn if you want to. The ladies not for turning. There'd have been neither freedom nor order in Britain if we'd given in to violence. There'd have been no hope for any prosperous industry. And the fact that we are gathered here now, shocked, but composed and determined, is a sign not only that this attack has failed, but that all attempts to destroy democracy by terrorism will fail.
Hadn't it been for Andy, who knows whether would have had a chance to do anything. So I think I owe everything to Mr. Warhol. Thanks.
Holly came from Miami, FLA, hitchhiked away across USA, plucked her eyebrows on the way, shaved her legs, and then he was a she. She says, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Said, hey honey, take a walk on the wild side.
For me, any good song stimulates some kind of emotion. I mean, what other thing is there that makes people get up and dance?
Just a perfect day.
Feed animals in the zoo.
Then later a movie too, and then home. Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you.
It's a fantasy perfect day. The whole thing's about not just you're going to reap what you sow, which is cliche, but the line before it. I thought I was somebody good. I like that idea.
You're going to reap just what you sow.
There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against a government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people.
We soon grasp the fact that we are not conducting a struggle against individual whites. We are fighting a principle, fighting white domination. And in the course of that struggle, we can even form friendships with people from the other side.
Take your guns, your knives, and your pangas, and throw them into the sea. I, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, do hereby swear to be faithful to the Republic of South Africa. Never, never, and never again
shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement.